But here's another question. What will happen in the near future, and we've learned during the Great Tribulation, to the tone, the tenor of our get ready to meet your God warning message? Well, for the answer, let's go to Revelation chapter 16. Then great hailstones, each about the weight of a talent, fell from heaven on the people, and the people blasphemed God because of the plague of hail, for the plague was unusually great. Well, our publications have explained that, of course, right now, we take the soft waters of truth to people, encouraging them to turn to Jehovah. But soon, during the Great Tribulation, the tone, the tenor, will turn hard. It will announce the imminent end of Satan's entire wicked system. The soft waters of truth will congeal to become the hard-hitting hailstones of truth. And this message will be so powerful that, as indicated there in that scripture we read, that the people will blaspheme God. They will be very upset. They will be very disturbed. And it's likened to a great hailstone, with every hailstone, a great hailstorm, I should say, with every hailstone weighing about a talent. Some years ago, interestingly, there was a little article or little account in the Watchtower about egg-sized hail falling in China and killing 25 people and wounding 200 additional people. Now think about it. If hailstones weighing only ounces could do that, what about 45-pound hailstones? And especially if you factor in how fast they fall. Experts say a large hailstone can fall at speeds faster than 100 miles an hour. And interestingly, not long ago, the Watchtower made the comment that it could well be that our hailstone message that we're commissioned to give will be what induces Gog of Magog to make his all-out attack against Jehovah's people with the intention of wiping them from the earth. And of course, we know the attack of Gog is the event that will enrage Jehovah and move him to bring on the rescue operation of Armageddon.
The rescue operation of Armageddon. Do you mean the global slaughter of Armageddon, Stephen Lett? Do you mean the global genocide, the global massacring of all non-Jehovah's Witnesses? That's a rescue operation. Well, who knew? So we've just been watching governing body member Stephen Lett giving the final talk at the 2022 annual meeting, which was held on October 1st, 2022. His theme, Why Must All Kiss God's Son? And this isn't new light. It may have the feel of new light because we're talking about end times predictions and Bible prophecy. But you heard Stephen Lett say,
for the plague was unusually great. Well, our publications have explained that, of course, right now, we take the soft waters of truth to people, encouraging them to turn to Jehovah.
Our publications have explained, not this is what it says in the Bible, this is what we can objectively verify, or this is a new understanding of Scripture that new light is bringing us. No, our publications have explained. They don't even need to try anymore to pretend that they're not making it up as they go along. All they need to do is say, it says so in our publications. And Jehovah's Witnesses should just nod along and agree. But what are they agreeing to exactly in this case? What's the profound future vision that Stephen Lett is warning us of on the annual meeting platform? He's warning us about essentially a message of join us or you will die, changing to, you will die. He's warning us about a change of tone and the fact that this change of tone is going to upset people.
And this message will be so powerful that, as indicated there in that scripture we read, that the people will blaspheme God. They will be very upset. They will be very disturbed.
Oh no, people will be very upset and disturbed about something in the future. That's definitely worth a prophecy. In fact, it's not just a prophecy, is it, Stephen? We'd like you to go into a bit more detail, a bit more gory detail about the destructive capability of hail.
Some years ago, interestingly, there was a little article or little account in the Watchtower about egg-sized hail falling in China and killing 25 people and wounding 200 additional people. Now think about it. If hailstones weighing only ounces could do that, what about 45-pound hailstones?
Why is all of that necessary if it's just a metaphor? If it's just a metaphor for people being upset and disturbed, why do we need to know that 25 people were once killed in China in a hailstorm? What actual purpose does that serve other than to terrify people? Because if we're talking about objects being hurled in the book of Revelation, we can find far larger objects than hailstones. In fact, if we go to Revelation 8, verses 8 and 9, it says, the second angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was hurled into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. So there's a friggin' mountain being hurled into the sea, which, spoiler alert, the organization claims in its literature is a metaphor. So why do we need to dwell on the destructive capability of hailstorms if we're only really talking about how upset people are by Jehovah's Witnesses telling them that they're going to die soon?
But right now, we're still in the Kiss God's Son invitation time period. We're happy about that, right? But don't get too comfortable with that message either. We entreat honest-hearted ones to honor God's Son, to warmly welcome him as earth's new ruler. And we do this urgently, don't we? During the time before that hard-hitting, get ready to meet your God time period arrives. But now here's a very important question. Are we motivated to kiss God's Son only because we don't want to experience the adverse consequences of not doing so? No. Our main motivator is love, isn't it? We love Jehovah, and we love his dear Son, and we long for him to be earth's new ruler. That love is what mainly motivates us to do so, to kiss, welcome God's Son. And of course, we want to help honest-hearted ones as we teach them to likewise kiss God's Son because they are motivated by love.
Yes, it's all about love, apparently, when it comes to the motivation for Jehovah's Witnesses to do the preaching work. They love Jehovah. They're doing it purely out of love for Jehovah. It has absolutely nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses having a mortal dread that by not doing the preaching work, they will make themselves blood guilty and they will themselves be destroyed when Armageddon strikes.
Are we motivated to kiss God's Son only because we don't want to experience the adverse consequences of not doing so? No.
On second thoughts, I'm not so sure about this, Stephen. If you don't mind, I'm going to get a second opinion on the motivation for Jehovah's Witnesses when it comes to their preaching work. Why don't we ask a fellow governing body member, speaking in 2018, let's bring to the podium Tony Morris.
Some can't do maybe as much as others, but we have, as Christians, the God-given responsibility to warn others. So you just take a look, and this is the idea Jehovah is getting across, at your hands. And you look at your hands now, only God, as he looks at your hands in here and all those that are tied in, does he see blood there? The humans sitting next to you, they might have an idea because they know you well and you haven't been out in service in weeks. Well, guess what? Most likely God's seeing some blood all over your hands. Or they go totally inactive, and we appeal to him, we try to help, but you cannot water down what God says here. If your hands are not clean because you've been out warning, then they have blood on them, and you're going to lose your life.
So my question would be, which is it? Who do we listen to? Do we listen to Stephen Lett when he tells us that the main motivation for Jehovah's Witnesses when they're engaging in their preaching work is love for God? Or do we listen to Stephen's colleague, Tony Morris, when in a moment of candor, speaking during the Trinidad branch visit in 2018, he openly tells Jehovah's Witnesses in attendance that they will themselves die at Armageddon if they go 4 weeks without preaching. Which is it? Who do we listen to? This is exactly the sort of garbled rhetoric you can expect from a man-made organization, let's put it frankly, a man-made cult that is just making it up as they go along.